Good morning, everyone. We are back with another poetry lesson. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make myself smaller and put my presentation in present mode. So I will be right back. All right, so here we are. Our lesson last week was about the elements of poetry. And this week we are going to learn about what does poetry sound like. So there are going to be three different things that we are going to go over. Three different things that not all poems, but some poems have. So let's go to the next slide. The first thing that we are going to learn about is repetition. Some poems have repetition, so this is a word or phrase that is repeated more than one time. So I have an example for you here underneath. This example is called I'll Never, and it's from the book The Armpit of Doom. And I did look this up. It looks really funny. It's on Amazon if anyone is interested. So here we go. I'll never climb Mount Everest to see what I can see. I'll never be the president by popular decree. I'll never rule the jungle with my trusted chimpanzee. I'll never rustle cattle with a friend named Tennessee. I'll never work with Sherlock Holmes to solve a tricky case. I'll never fly a fighter jet and be a flying ace. I'll never run a marathon and break the record place. I'll never ride a rocket ship to float in outer space. So this is just a part of this poem. This poem was very long, but as you can see, there is repetition in this poem. Highlighted in white, I highlighted I'll never. In every other line, you see I'll never is repeated. So that is repetition in a poem. It could be different words, it could be different phrases, but if it is put in the poem more than one time, then that is repetition. All right, the second thing we are going to learn about today is a very silly looking word, and this word says onomatopoeia. I don't know if you've ever heard this silly word before, but you're going to be learning about it in 4th grade and then in 5th grade, so I thought we'd touch on it today. So again, this word is onomatopoeia, and these are words that sound the same way they are said. So it's a little bit tricky, but I'll show you some examples. So the first thing that I'm going to do is read you a poem with some examples of onomatopoeia in it, and then I'll show you the next slide, which has more examples. So this poem is called Swish Went the Fish by Kelly Roper. Swish, swish, swish went the little goldfish as he swam around his bowl. Splash, splish, splash went his fancy little tail because he was a happy little soul. Glub, glub, glub went the bubbles he blew as they floated up to the top. Smack, smack, smack went his tiny fishy lips as he ate his flakes without a stop. So again, as you can see, in white, I have highlighted the onomatopoeia. So if you were actually to hear something go swish, you would hear the sound swish. So that's why swish is an onomatopoeia. Same thing with splash. When you actually hear a splash, that's what you hear the actual word. It can get a little confusing, but that's why we're just touching on it, and you'll learn more about it when you go into 4th and 5th grade, and you'll start to be writing poems with onomatopoeia, and it's really fun. So I want to go to the next slide because there are some more examples. Boom is an example. Zap, bam, pop, bang, bag, pow. When you hear those sounds, you actually hear the word. So that is what onomatopoeia is. Again, like I said, I know that can be a little bit confusing, but I just wanted to touch on it. All right, and the last thing that we are going to learn about today is called alliteration. And this is a letter sound that is used over and over. So a little bit different than repetition. Repetition is a word or a phrase. Alliteration is just the letter sound. So underneath, this is my example. This poem is so funny. When I read it, I was laughing hysterically. I knew you guys would love it. So I will read it to you, and then I'll show you the examples of alliteration. It's called My Puppy Punched Me in the Eye. Here we go. My puppy punched me in the eye. My rabbit whacked my ear. My ferret gave a frightful cry, and Roundhouse kicked my rear. My lizard flipped me upside down. My kitten kicked my head. My hamster slammed me to the ground and left me nearly dead. So my advice, avoid regrets, no matter what you do. Don't ever let your family pets take lessons in Kung Fu. So that was by Ken Nesbitt. I just thought that poem was so funny. But as you can see underneath here, I have highlighted again in white the alliteration. So in this first sentence, it says, my puppy punched me in the eye. I hear the p sound 2 times. So that would be alliteration. The next one I see here, it says, my ferret gave a frightful cry. I hear the f sound more than 1 time in this sentence. So that would be alliteration. And then again here, it says, my kitten kicked my head. So I hear the k sound multiple times in this sentence. So that would also be alliteration. If you've ever heard that rhyme, it says it's Sally sells seashells by the seashore, or what's the other one? I was just trying to think of another one, but my brain is a little foggy today. So the only one I can think of right now is Sally sells seashells by the seashore. You hear the s sound over and over again. So that would be an example of alliteration. All right, so now you see me in the middle here. I hope that was easy to follow. Obviously, you can go back and watch the video again. All I wanted to do today was to touch on those three things about poetry. So your assignment for Friday is just to pick a poem and either listen to it, or you can 1, listen to it. You could 2, read it to a stuffed animal, to your parents, to your sister, or 3, have your parents read it to you. So maybe you want to give your parents a little bit of homework, although I know they are working so hard with you at home. So that is your assignment for Friday. I hope this was easy to follow. Again, like I say in every video, please let me know if you need any help with anything, or if you have any comments about the video, maybe something that I can do better, or something that you like about the video. I'm trying my best, so I will see everybody in the next one. Bye.